Hey future doctors, thanks for joining me on Spoonful of Sugar, a podcast made for medical students by medical students to help the medicine go down. My name is Rhea Moherker. I'm currently a medicine intern in Philadelphia, and I will be your host today. I'm sure you can tell from the title of this episode, but today's discussion is going to be a little different than our usual coverage of medical topics. I guess it's because I started this podcast 2 years ago with the hope of helping medical students with the didactic portion of their medical school. And I really wanted to do two things, not only just help with step one preparation in an easy and accessible way, but I also wanted to help make content more fun and relevant, not just for the boards, but towards how it's actually applied and relevant in practice. Now, that said, step one season is among us, and unfortunately this exam does create a lot of, just a lot of stress and anxiety amongst medical students. And I think that anxiety is really palpable on social media from the students that I've interacted with. There's just so much stress surrounding this exam, and I remember going through it. I think I took the exam about 3 years ago now, and it was a really, really stressful time. And so I just wanted to create something with this episode. I really wanted to create something to support people and to motivate people. And really this episode is just for anyone who needs to hear that you can do this. You got this, and it's going to be okay. There's hundreds, thousands of us who've done this before you, and there's going to continue to be a lot of people that do this after you. And it is a really anxiety-provoking, stressful exam. There is a ton of content, but at the end of the day, there's a few things that I'm going to go over in this podcast that I think will hopefully help you get through the exam and hopefully help you remember why you're doing this and kind of help ground you and motivate you moving forward. I'm really calling this episode a pep talk because I want to help boost your confidence. I want to help to give students the positive energy that you guys need to succeed on the test. Because believe me, you are completely capable. I think the STEP exam is interesting because it's, maybe 50% content and 50% mental game. It's such a long, grueling exam, and really there is so much mental game, and you have to kind of manipulate your mind to be able to succeed on the exam, or at least that's what I went through when I took it. I think luck factors in a little bit as well, but I'm saying 50-50 because I want to focus on the things that we can control. And what can you control? Content-wise, I'm sure you guys have studied, you've covered, or you're going through some process of covering all the content to the best of your ability. And really, that's all we can ask for. Have you studied to the best of your ability? And then beyond that, so much of this exam is just about the mindset. And I really, really think that there's just 3 things that you need to kind of conquer the mindset of step one. The first one is positivity. You can do this. You can do it. And I could say this in your ear a million times, but it really does not matter until you're able to tell yourself, I can do this. I think it's hard for us as, students in medicine and even residents and moving forward. We're always looking at the next mountain that we need to climb. Didactic, step one, rotation, step two, residency, so on. But I think every now and then it's really important to remind ourselves of the things that we have done as kind of evidence to support that there are so many more things that we can continue to do. You have excelled so much in your life. You've succeeded on so many exams. You got accepted into medical school, which is no small feat, especially in this era. And really, you deserve more than anything to be where you are, and you have the tools and you have what it takes to get through the step one as well. It's just another thing that you can and will do. Positivity, telling yourself, I can do this, that is huge because you need to have confidence in yourself. And that kind of brings me to the second aspect of this mental game, confidence. You need to be confident not only in yourself, but also in the things that you know. I think I say this all the time. I write about this. it's not possible for anyone to know anything in medicine. It's just not. There's so much content, there's so much material, and that's why specialties exist. That's why we consult doctors of other specialties when we don't know the answer ourselves. And that's just the nature of medicine, and it's important to know what you know and know what you don't know. But know what you know confidently, okay? You're not going to know everything on the exam. There are going to be questions that completely baffle you and that just throw you off your ball game. But you should expect that so that they don't throw you off your ball game. You know what you know, and that is enough. And you need to be confident in that because, even if you don't know everything, you still do have the power to use what you know to figure out what you don't know. So just focusing on having confidence in what you already know and really embracing that and harboring that as you approach each question on the test, that is huge. It's just so huge to, be positive about it, know that you can do it. And number 2, have confidence about what you know. And use that confidence as power to help figure out the things that you don't know. And then for me, I think this third factor about my mindset was just so huge for me. And it was energy. And I think it's pretty simple, doing things that are fun gives me a lot of energy, and doing things that are boring makes me pretty sleepy. And it's pretty easy to get bored taking the step 1 exam. I don't even remember how many sections. It's like 8 hours long. It's ridiculous. You're staring at a computer screen for so many hours and you're just reading and doing practice questions. I try to give myself energy by literally pretending that I was a clinician seeing patients in clinic, and every new question was a new patient case, and I had to somehow solve that and help the patient. And I admit it, I think that these questions are kind of fun to solve after a while. They're like a puzzle. You have this bank of knowledge and you have to go back to that, and you have to, kind of understand, what are the board writers asking? What is the answer to the question? And by pretending that this is, me seeing patients in clinic and something that I'm actually going to be doing in a few years in real life, I think that really helped give me energy. I think, the opposite of energy, what is it that makes this exam so draining? For me, it's really 2 things. Number 1, worrying incessantly about the score. And number 2, feeling sorry for myself for being in this position where I have to study constantly and take this horrible exam. So I just stopped doing those 2 things. I stopped worrying about the score and fretting about the consequences of what that would be. And I just tried to be positive and enjoy the experience of taking the exam. I know that sounds really hard to do, but it's possible, because this is something, medical school is something that you got into because you like doing these type of things. Not necessarily taking tests, but you like learning and you like solving things and you like helping answer questions. So enjoy the exam, have fun solving the questions, and have energy. Okay, I really think that if you walk into test day with positivity, confidence in yourself and in what you know, as well as energy and just a hugely, optimistic outlook, I think that will help you so much with getting through the exam and getting through it well. I believe that you got this and you can do it, and I want you to believe that you can do it. At the end of the day, and I'm sure a lot of people have told you this and you've told yourself this, it's just a test. I do think it's very unfortunate that exams like the step 1 are so kind of gruesomely all-consuming and just life-altering in a way that they make us forget why we got into medicine and why we're doing what we're doing in the first place. But we can't give it the power to do that. I do not want you to lose sight of the big picture, and I think clinging to the big picture in your mind, it really helps you with your mindset and with your mental game as you approach the exam. Don't forget this. You're a medical student. The step 1 exam, it's just the first of your board exams required to make it to medical school and to get that degree. And the step 1's really important. I think it's a really hard exam, but I think that the studying and the preparation that we go through for it really helps to bring a strong foundation as you move forward with your medical education and start to shift your focus towards, more patient care and clinically oriented knowledge. Everything that you learn after the point of step 1 really builds on the knowledge that you put together for step 1. So this is, I think, in my opinion, step 1 is the hardest part, but it's so important for that foundation of knowledge. And every year, every board exam after this, it's just going to build on what you have prepared for step 1. I know some of the other tests that we've taken in our lifetimes, the SATs, the MCATs, they kind of seem like hoops that we have to jump through. But if anything, step 1 is not asking you to perform some kind of circus trick. It's really important. And I think that should affect your mindset. You're studying like crazy. I know this, you know this, but it's helping you so that you can, in the future, help do your job. And it's getting you to the point where you can become a competent physician. So it's so important to get through the step 1 and to get through it with a positive attitude. And, that kind of brings me to my next point. This is helping you do your job. And if you think about big picture, my family always tells me this, that career is important, but it's not everything. So no matter how much work you're pouring in for this exam, I really, really hope that you're also making a little bit of time for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones. Even if it's just a 5-minute walk, a quick workout at the gym, cuddling your pet, painting your nails, you should try to do one nice thing for yourself every single day, and it's also important to take longer scheduled breaks in the days before the exam to get that mental rest. I think giving yourself a mental break from that intense pressure and just staring at a screen and going through those questions, it's so important. I didn't study at all the day before my exam because I really like to rest my brain the day before the exam. I think giving yourself that mental break is paramount. So the reason I'm kind of harping on this big picture thing, the thing I want you to take away is that step 1 is important for your job and it's going to help you. But again, career is not everything. And I think remembering what it's helping you to do, but also remembering that career is just a part of your life, it helps motivate you for the exam, but it also helps take some pressure off the exam. And I think that's the perfect mindset to be. You should take it seriously, but we should never take anything in life so seriously that it hurts us. Just remember that you have done everything that you need to do. You've done the studying. Don't doubt your strategies. You know yourself. You know what it takes for you to prepare. And then beyond that, like I've said before, the step 1, it's not just about having knowledge. I truly think it's about 50% mental game as well, and you need to be in the right headspace. And to me, I think the best headspace is somebody who is positive, confident, and energized. Forget about the score, forget about the pressure. You are a future doctor and you're helping patients in your clinical vignettes to the absolute best of your ability. And that's all we can ask for. And, moving forward as you move into your clinical rotations, once you graduate, become a physician, helping patients to the best of your ability is that is the fundamental basis of your job. And that's what you're starting to do by taking this exam. You are starting to help build the knowledge that will allow you to make a difference in the lives of so many people in the future. Okay? So those are just, some things that I wanted to share with you guys because I know how much anxiety there is around this exam. But I really think that you need to, number 1, try and abet some of that anxiety by, easing the pressure off yourself, by trying to think about things in a big picture sort of way. And, what is the ultimate purpose of this? What is, how does this impact my life as a whole? And the answer to that is it impacts it very importantly, but not as enormously as you think. Okay. And I just really want to help boost your confidence. You can do this. You've got this. So many of us have done it. So many of us are going to continue to do it. It's going to be 100% okay, no matter what the outcome is. Okay. Everything in life ends up in a funny way. It ends up working out. So thank you so much, for listening to me ramble on and on about that. I was told by some medical students that this would be a helpful thing for me to do. And so I really hope that you got something out of it. I hope that you're feeling a little bit motivated, a little bit more relaxed. Not all of our episodes of this, most of them are very content focused. This is really the first time that I've done something like this. And if you found it helpful, I, encourage you to tell us, give us some feedback on the episode. And if you find our podcast in general helpful, I would encourage you to please subscribe to our podcast, follow us on the different social medias. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can visit our website at spoonfulofsugar.org. And under each episode, there's room to list your specific concerns surrounding an episode under that link. And I just want to say good luck to everyone with studying. If you're going to take the step 1 soon, I wish you the absolute best of luck. And just remember that anytime, if you're having an SOS moment while studying, Spoonful of Sugar is always here to help the medicine go down. Thank you.